Painting is really something that I so wanted to do here, in this place, on this stage, with these people, in this presence, encouraged by this culture. And last week or the week before, Chris said, wish for something from God. And I knew what was on my list. My number one thing was, God, I really want to paint in the worship here, in this space, in this environment, in this culture. Because there's just nothing like it when I paint in worship. I access something in God that just, well, you know, when you're a worship leader, you just go beyond something into Him, into His presence, and that's what I draw from. And when I paint in the worship, I usually pull from what the worship leader's doing, and I feel as though I'm actually worship leading with colour. And I don't know if you watched it or you had your eyes shut or whatever, it doesn't matter, but I draw something from the unseen realm and I make it visual. So when I got to paint on Monday, it was like God went above and beyond what I had even asked for. Because Kim was here, I'm like, oh, hello. I didn't care. I didn't care who the worship leader was going to be. It didn't matter. And the way I actually got to be allowed to paint was just kind of, you know, it just kind of happened. I didn't have to push or hassle or fight for it. It just kind of unfolded. And when Tricia said, oh, you can paint on Monday and, you know, oh, Kim's going to be leading, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much more than what I had even hoped for. I had just hoped to be allowed to come and paint. But to paint in that presence and in that worship was just like absolutely off the rip day. It was just so much more than I had even hoped and dreamed for. And the painting is called The Rhythm of God's Heart. So I'm in worship and I'm just going mad with my colour because that's just me and these are my favourite colours. So when you're out of your comfort zone, you do what's your favourite. So I'm going with my favourite colours, right? And then I'm putting all this darkness on, which is actually, it looks like black at the time, but it wasn't black. And I'm putting it all on because then when I turned it on its side and I ran some gold ink down it, which Kim was singing about the presence, and for me the presence is running gold ink down the paint. And I threw some white light onto the darkness. You then see that it's purple because it's like He takes our sin and He runs white light across it and it becomes purple because we're actually a royal priesthood.
That's so good. So good. Wow.
That's who He is.
That's awesome.
So I'm doing on my red thing because that's just me. I'm just passionate and I'm worshipping with all my heart. I'm like, this moment was just like one of those moments in life that you're just never going to forget. And I'll probably Facebook forever. And then I'm going, what's on your heart, God? What's on your heart? So I decided to do those doobie things, which I don't know what they're called, but they're doobie things that represent, you know, a heartbeat. So I'm doing those, and then I'm painting them in. And of course, I painted them in black, and then I painted them in gold. And then I'm going, oh man, that's so awesome, but what's on your heart? And then just before the last couple of minutes of wrap it up time, I put, you can't see from distance, but really up close, I put like these red stripes right across the single doobie thing of them. And it represented the stripes, it represented the blood of Christ, and it's like what's on God's heart is redemption. That was what's on His heart on Monday, and it's probably not changed today, it's probably still on His heart today. And I really felt that as we sink ourselves into His heartbeat, as we will incline ourselves to hear what it is that's on His heart, that's how we actually access heaven and that's how we release it into the earth. Thanks.